Welcome, everyone. Today, we're going on a pretty unique architectural tour, but we're not looking at a building. We're looking at the human face. We're about to uncover the real science behind what makes a face look youthful, and let me tell you, the answer is way deeper than you think. So let's just get right to it. What is the real secret to a youthful face? I mean, we all hear about skincare, creams, and wrinkles, but is that really the whole story? Not even close. The secret isn't just about what you see on the surface. Honestly, wrinkles are just a tiny piece of a much, much bigger puzzle. The real action is happening in the hidden layers underneath. So to figure this all out, we need a map, right? A kind of blueprint of the face's hidden structure. Our architectural tour is going to start right here, deep beneath the skin. You see, every single face is built on these 5 interconnected layers. And just like a building, if you want to understand how it ages, you can't start with the paint job. You have to start at the very bottom, with the foundation, and work your way up. So let's start there with the foundation. This is the deepest and, you could argue, the most critical layer. It's the facial skeleton, and it provides the entire framework for everything else we see. The bone really is the scaffold of the face. It's what determines your overall shape, the projection of your cheeks, your jawline, all of it. It sets up the fundamental symmetry. Everything else is literally just resting on top of this framework. Now, this is where it gets really interesting, seeing how that foundation changes over time. In our youth, the bone structure is strong. You have that nice cheek projection, solid support around the eyes. But as we age, a process called bone resorption kicks in, and that means the bone actually diminishes. The eye sockets can widen, and that really crucial support in the middle of the face starts to weaken. And within that foundation, you can think of these as the key support beams. The cheekbone, the jawline, the rim of the eye socket. These are the structures that give the face those distinct youthful contours. When they start to lose volume, the whole building begins to shift. Okay, let's move up one level from the foundation. If bone is the concrete base, then the next layers, the ligaments and fat, they're like the structural framing and the insulation that give the building its shape and its softness. Now, ligaments are one of those things most people never think about, but they are absolutely crucial. They're like these little support cables, and their job is to tether our facial tissues directly to the bone. They hold everything up and keep it from sagging. When we're young, these ligaments are strong and tight, holding everything firmly in place. But as we get older, they can start to loosen up. It's a process called ligament laxity. And once those support cables lose their tension, the tissues they're supposed to be holding up, well, they start to descend. Next up, let's talk about volume, or the insulation, to stick with our metaphor. And this isn't just one single layer of fat, you know? The face actually has these distinct fat compartments. Each one is like a little cushion that provides the soft contours and the fullness that we associate with being young. And this comparison just shows the change so clearly. A youthful face has this beautifully distributed volume positioned high up on the cheekbones. But with age, 2 things happen. These compartments don't just lose volume, they kind of deflate. They also start to descend and shift around. And that's what creates hollowing under the eyes or those deep folds around the mouth. So we've explored the foundation and the internal supports. Now we finally arrive at the outermost layer of our tour. The part everyone sees. You can think of it as the facade of the building, the skin. Of course, the skin is the most obvious marker of age. Its youthful look comes from a really dense network of 3 things: collagen for strength, elastin for that bouncy flexibility, and hyaluronic acid for hydration. You can really see the contrast here, right? Youthful skin is thick, it's elastic. Aging skin, on the other hand, starts to thin out as that collagen depletes and the elasticity goes down. So all those wrinkles and fine lines we focus on, they're actually the very last thing to happen, the final surface-level result of all those deeper structural changes. And now we get to the big aha moment. Because none of these layers ages by itself. It's all connected. It's a domino effect, where a change in one deep layer sets off this whole cascade of changes in all the others. This is it, the architectural chain reaction. It all starts when the bony foundation gets a little weaker. Because of that, the anchors, the ligaments, have less to hold on to, so they start to stretch and loosen their grip. Then, that allows the volume, the fat pads, to deflate and slide downwards. And finally, the facade, the skin, which now has no underlying support, starts to sag and fold. See how it all connects? So, after our whole tour, what's the big idea here? What should we take away from all this? Well, it really leads us to a brand new and I think much deeper definition of what youthfulness actually is. And here is the single most important point. A youthful face isn't just about having smooth skin or no wrinkles, it's about structural integrity. It's about the harmony and the balance and the support across all 5 of those architectural layers, from the bone all the way out to the skin. And that really leaves us with this final thought. The real goal isn't just to change the surface, but to truly understand the deep architecture that lies beneath. Because when you can read the anatomy under the skin, that's when you unlock the real secret to youth itself.